nothing for me outside there. It had nothing for me outside there. Say it had nothing for me. It had nothing for me. Nothing for me outside there. No way. No demon in hell can conquer me. I under a new authority. I can't change my past or change my heart. Bring a new wine out of me. This world have nothing to offer me. In Jesus I find security. I tell you I safe on the inside. I'm not going back outside. Amazing grace. Now I turn a different page. Nobody can stop my praise. Nobody can stop my praise. People say that I ain't changed. Them go say what they go say. Nobody can stop my praise. Nobody can stop my praise. I tell you I safe on the inside. Nobody going outside. I safe on the inside. I'm leaning on the Lord's side today. I'm not going to turn back again. In Christ I go stay. It had nothing for me outside there. And nothing for me. No. Nobody can stop my praise. Nobody can stop my praise. It had nothing for we. No, no, no. Tell them it had nothing for we. Outside there. Nobody going outside. I'm not going no way. I'm leaning on the Lord's side today.
Wagwan, my family. Rubber dub, 3 men and a tub. Well, you know it is. It's supposed to be 3 men in a tub. Friends, you realize it's 1 man, 1 tub. You see what's going on here already? Them friends and them decide to punish me tonight because I missed 2 weeks. They decide, you know what? Alan, you lock it down. But them feel afraid. I prepared for them. I feel like I sit down here by myself and I go, I can't carry a show. I can carry a whole show for 2 hours. Me need Eric, me need nobody. Well, I need Eric. I probably need Alistair, but I need Eric. All right, we need Alistair as well. So, no, fellas, I'll make myself. I didn't mean to stay away for 2 weeks. It just happened. I missed the flight in Jamaica. I was in Jamaica, right? Like 2 weeks ago. I was in the airport and they kicked me back because I do COVID test to come back to Trinidad. Last week, I went out. I had to do something important. I said I'll come back in time. And I get trapped. I wasn't even driving. I was traveling. I told them I can make it in time. No, they tell me who tired and who tie up and who take a thing because they want me to come here and work on myself. But you know what? God is the boss. God is the boss. Eric will do all the things. It's all right. I could be all right tonight. Tonight could be a special night. It's the return of Alan the Entertainer and Robert Dub, friends. 1 man on a tub. And of course, they're taking the tub still. Thank you, Joanna.
Hey, don't mind off camera, come mash up still.
Don't try that. Don't, you stay quiet
you
camera.
You can do it out there, Eric.
Eric talking
You can do it out there, you can do it out Alistair. You're lucky. I'm tired.
Eric here. But he had to work behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes.
So look at my voice. Let me go see my face. We
don't want to hear you. Unless you hold a mic and talk, we want to hear your voice.
Don't try that. They like
talk
to hear
in the mic or don't talk at all.
They don't like to hear me.
You understand? And then, of course, we boy Alistair, he out a yard. You not know. He didn't leave Trinidad. You understand? But he just not in this yard. He out a yard. That's
Taking care of business. Taking care of business.
So I'm back, friends. It's so good to be back with you all on a Tuesday night. You know what I'm saying? Good to be back. Welcome to it. Everywhere around the world. Let me see is that. Videsh, Good night. Yes, locked on, locked in. Thanks for locking on one time. Village show going on. Before I start to get all these messages coming in, we have plenty in store tonight still. You understand? I will give you a little something about my Jamaican trip. I had to talk about that. Who's this? Who's Uni? Uni? Well, you're listening. Very nice. Very nice. That's Uni or Unai? Which one it is? Which one I call it? Uni or Unai? On I or Unai? I don't know. Yeah, we good to go. So friends, welcome to this Drama Dub. One man and a tub. Well, 1.5 because Eric halfway here. He in the back. So it's 1.5.
Yeah.
Men and a tub.
I hear.
And we have lots in store because I have
I'll
some.
still make the contribution on this side.
Sister and niece and I have family coming through. Special night for me. And yeah. But as we all know, we don't just jump into just
Oops.
protocols must always be observed.
What's that? My goddaughter too, so don't play course.
Don't try and hug up, no.
Don't play course, no family thing.
Snatch up
like my goddaughter too, so
don't snatch up nothing. You're not on set
family.
tonight, you know. I go take all your love tonight. Stay right there. Tonight, all your love inside the set is mine. Say where you war. Stay right there. But friends, you know how we just do it. We don't jump straight into it just so. We have to, protocols must be observed. When you go to school, you come, you line up, you come to, you say a prayer, you say your anthem, you say a pledge, and then you go into the class. So before you go into class, friends, we have your anthem to play. Brand new anthem, and I only know the time it is. Stand at attention, my friends. The anthem is about to be played, and we come right back. Don't go anywhere.
Up here today. Tell me who is to be blamed, and does it matter anyway? Take a look around, open up your eyes and see. Now's the time to make a difference. Be the change you want to see. Do you remember a time when we used to love, yeah? With our strength in we heart, we rise above, yeah.
So what would it take to recapture? Face a new chapter.
Come on, my brother, my sister, the heart of the matters. We all need each other.
Let's do this together, yeah.
Together we aspire. Together we achieve. And oftentimes I wonder, yeah, is it something we still believe? Yeah.
There's no greater time for love, no greater time for peace. Be what we know we're meant to be. There's no greater time for love, a light for the world to see.
The mighty rise to meet their challenge. Here we stand and we fight and we shall not fail. Now is the time for action. Tell them we're ready now, come with me. So let we choose to love, yeah. And side by side we will overcome, yeah. Standing firm in defense of the future, a whole generation to nurture.
So come and we show them the power of people together. If we work as one, then the victory is ours, yeah.
Together we aspire, yeah. Together we achieve, oh yeah.
Oftentimes I wonder,
is it something we still believe? Bless the world with harmony. There's no greater time for love, no greater time for peace.
much better when we band together than the bands on mothers' bellies. Together, only the red on the flag becomes redder, and the only band we'd see is the band across the flag, if any. We're ready, and together we can move the clouds from grey to fine and make sunshine TNT. There's no greater time than now.
Show me how to love, show me how to get there. Show me how to live, show me how to love, show me how to get there. Show me how to live, show me how to live, show me how to love, show me how to get there. Show me how to live, show me how to love, show me how to get there. Right there, right now. Show me how to live, show me how to love, show me how to get there. Show me how to live, show me how to love, show me how to get there. Show me how to live, show me how to love, show me how to get there. Show me how to live, show me how to love, show me how to get there. Show me how to live, show me how to love, show me how to get there. Show me how to live, show me how to love, show me how to get there. We got to live. Show me how to live, show me how to love, show me how to get there. Show me how to live, show me how to love, show me how to get there.
We have been loved for a century, overflowing our hearts never empty. Never let evilest people tempt me. Got to keep my heart pure if I want to endure. No mistake clearer than 2020. Cause we don't end up in a penitentiary. Rather teach the youth and them in elementary. If you don't want to fall, then you got to hold on no matter what.
So show me how to live, just show me how to love, just show me how to just be above it all. Yeah, cause I'ma make it one day. So show me, show me.
Hear our cries for change, urgent, as if our esophagus were made with the same cast iron pots our grandmothers hammered to shape with their hands. Hear our cries for peace, sure, like how every one of those pots will be passed down from generation to generation. We are resilient, we are here to last, and at last, we cannot be broken.
No greater time. Beautiful song. All you realize the anthems, they just keep getting better and better. Now, we can't really say one better than the other. But in terms of the messages that we've gotten through all our anthems, pure fire. 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 We call that pure fire. According to the Jamaican, peer fire. It's peer? Beer? Peer? Eric, watch me like if you know. I don't know what I'm saying. Yes, Eric. I was in Jamaica, and I'll tell you the story a little later on. Listen, I gave a little set about being in Jamaica. It was tremendous, but we don't talk about that, right? You see, that young lady I said, listen.
Yeah. Just we had to acknowledge some people.
Yeah, I saw Adi. I see Chini Adi. What's up? Alistair, right here and now. Let me hear. Yeah. You miss it?
I see Adi falling just now.
Adi falling. I see Adi peeping just now. Welcome to it. Welcome to it.
I see Anastasia jumping in.
Wait now, you're on the mic?
I mean,
no, I just want to make sure you're on the mic, partner.
Yeah.
Right. So all you wouldn't see him, but all you would hear him tonight.
Yeah,
he's the Phantom Menace tonight.
Yeah. Nice one. Ministry Society.
Yeah, this is how now my all-time fave song. Yeah, it is.
It's a nice song.
Because of all them singers in it, Adi. Oh, please. Please. Let's squeeze it. Let's call quick. Because I want to bring in my guest. Hello, Robert Abdab. My dear.
Good evening, welcome here. Back on Robert Abdab.
Yes, my dear. I'm so good to be back.
Last night, so you're here tonight.
Yes.
I know you want to go and you'll carry on a good show.
Oh.
Good evening, my lady.
Good evening.
I will introduce her just now. Because I had to take my time. I'll take my time and introduce this one.
Yes.
I'll take my time and introduce this young lady. I can't just rush her in like that.
One man on a tub.
Nice. One man on a tub, for real. 1.5.
A man and a half.
One person halfway here.
A man and a half.
Yeah, Eric halfway
I'm
here.
behind the scenes. I'm behind the scenes tonight.
Yeah,
Most important.
Most important, you're alive and well.
Most important.
Eric, where your mic? Your mic up? Your mic up, Eric?
Yeah, I might.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Once you can hear us.
Yes. Yeah,
Bless you.
All right.
Nice. Now, friends, they say life is a circle, it's a cycle. Goes around, comes around. Goes around, comes around. And it's indeed a tremendous pleasure, privilege to have this young lady. Now, I'll tell you what. This young lady doesn't know why this is a tremendous moment for me in a sense, because, or she does probably, because Alan, the entertainer, started way back. Well, I wasn't called Alan the entertainer back in those days, but way back in the early 2000s, we were a part of a group called CTAF, Christian Theatrical Arts Foundation. It was founded by a gentleman called Jason Patterson, Sherry Ann Patterson, his wife, and I was one of the founding members of that group. Eric was a part of that group as well. When we now come out, Eric was, you know, we spoke about Jason Patterson in different spaces. And friends, I kid you not, Jason Patterson is a guy that inspired me to do stand-up comedy. He was the first person that says, Alan, I told him I want to do stand-up comedy, you know. You see what I mean? I say, yeah, I say something like what Sprang Along and them do, but I wanted more looking like what I see on BET Comic View. You say, well, start writing. I was like, start writing, Amy, just write. Do it. And he started, and there are a lot of things theatrically on stage, me being on stage and doing, you know, performances and stuff. You'd have seen me done. We played it here a couple times, the little production we did on stage. The things that I was able to do on stage, had it not been for this gentleman they call Jason Patterson, I don't know if there would have been an Alan and the Entertainer today. I could categorically say that. Because some of the things that I'm able to accomplish today is because of the things that I've learned from Jason Patterson. He was a mentor, a guide, a brother, a friend. He was really, truly that kind of person you could lean on. And he knew how to get things out of you.
Jason was ahead of his time.
Yeah, he was way ahead of his time.
He was ahead of his time.
Jason Patterson, in the days when we had CTAF, he was a fella ahead of his time. I think he was so much international, he was thinking that he was behind time internationally, but way ahead of time locally. And my goodness, Susanna, good night. Good night, Robert Dub, Alan, hold the fort. Yes, I will hold it down. Don't worry, self. Thanks for the welcome back. And this happens to be, this young lady right here happens to be Jason's daughter. We've seen and we've watched Jason's daughter born and grow. And she is next to me, so it's an honor. That I tell you, it's full circle, and this is the reason why. She's a talented young lady. She's very intelligent. She's gotten herself, her name, she will give it the name just now. She's gotten herself a scholarship, half scholarship, to Howard University out there in Washington, D.C. And she's here to just tell us a little bit about her journey, and we're going to see how we can help her out along the way. Please, it's my pleasure to welcome to Rubber Dub Dub, my mentor and friend's daughter, my goddaughter, my beautiful child, a child of our home. That's Eric's goddaughter as well. It's we baby. This is our baby, Calissa Patterson.
Thank you so much for having me.
Calissa Patterson. Hey, Jean Morales, good night. Doing good? So, Calissa, it is indeed a pleasure to have you here on Rubber Dub Dub.
Yes, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Nice. Did you call sabotage, Eric? Eric, did you call sabotage? My chair break. We on Melic, but look over. My first night back. You see what's going on here, friends? That's the kind of love I just get. This how it does go for me. I just tell you the funniest things happen to comedians only. Only comedians these kind of things has happened to. You see what's going on here?
Let's
And this was never, this is actually, this thing that used to happen on stage with me sometime. Thing happening on stage and we alone know how we get little kicks.
All the time we using the chair, nothing happen. First night you come back, you go and break up the chair.
All I do is lean back on it.
You lean back too hard.
So Kalissa, tell us about your journey. Let me know what school you attended and how was life growing up hearing about your dad, because I didn't mention her father passed away. She was born already.
I was 1.
She was almost 2. Yeah, I remember you was a baby girl. She was born already, and Jason Patterson passed away when she was just about 2 years old, just before she was 2. I remember when Jason came to the door and he said, "Alan, it's a girl." He came to the door when I was living in Pinto. "Alan." That's the first thing I see his big face coming through the door. Big face. "Alan, it's a girl." I said, "Oh my God!" And I was really excited for Sherry and Jason. And this is the product of them both. So, you knew about your father?
Yes, I did. I heard about him all the time from friends, family, a lot of stories about how he was.
Yeah. And listen, the thing about Sherry Ann, the thing about this girl here is like you take Jason's face and do so, splat out. Because this is the spitting image of Jason Patterson. You understand? You're much better looking than he is, I must say. So don't worry yourself. You're good to go. But in your journey, you went to school. I know you've graduated. From what school you attended?
Right now I'm in upper 6
At
El Dorado East Secondary, but I attended Caribbean Union College for Form 1 to 5.
Right.
And then lower and upper 6 in El Dorado East.
Yeah. And so you're pursuing right now, you're studying, what was your field of studies?
Right now I'm studying biology, chemistry, and physics.
Oh.
So all sciences.
You go on the hard region, go on there.
Yeah.
But why these subjects, or why this field of studies?
I think I'm really interested in science because it's not as fixed as business studies. It's something that always changes and something where you're always discovering something new.
Yeah, this thing is happening, Robert. So you see what happened here? I had a look, let's.
No, you want to fix the camera.
I just tease it. I don't care nothing about it, but yeah.
You have a yellow boy here too?
He's a yellow? Oh, that's why he come outside there in a big way?
Yellow boy.
Yeah, he went to yellow. He's a graduate. Anyway, alma mater. So, you were saying, sorry.
Right, I was saying that I really love science because it's something that always changes. It's not as fixed as business studies. It's something where you could always discover something new, and that's just so interesting to me.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Very good, very good. So you're kind of like always trying to keep up with the times of science and whatever the case to be. And tell us about now when did you get this great news about being accepted at Howard?
Okay, so I applied in October, and I found out in December that I got into Howard. My reaction was so crazy. I was just screaming and jumping.
Serious?
Screaming and jumping. And then I also found out about the scholarships that I got in late February.
Fantastic. Yeah. Now, I'm gonna ask you a question. Did your mother cry when you told her?
She didn't cry.
Surprisingly.
Surprisingly.
That sappy woman didn't cry?
You ever turn on the camera?
Waterworks, she didn't cry?
You ever turn on the camera?
She didn't.
You ever turn on the camera? Right.
Listen now. It didn't take nothing to say the cry. That's washing she eyes there. No, just turn on tapping, right? Is it in the water? So she didn't cry, but she was excited.
She was more excited than I was.
And with the grandmother, because I know she's an ex.
My grandmother, she was just so happy and proud to hear about it.
Yeah.
Really
I know the whole family, they all inside there. So now that you found out, they say you're accepted, you are not preparing to go. So what kind of scholarship you got? And stuff. Tell us a little bit more of the scholarships that you actually...
I got 2 scholarships. I got a HU Founders Scholarship, which is a merit scholarship. So based on how well I did, they gave that one to me. And then I also got a financial aid scholarship.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so the financial aid, what is the financial aid about? How much? What is the amount in the financial aid?
Okay, so the financial aid is based off of need, and that scholarship is $7,000, and then combined with the HU Founders Merit Scholarship, they both come up to 24,000 US
A year.
per year.
Per year. That's
Per
4 years. 4 years, 22,000 US.
24,000 per
US.
year, yeah.
And that's like half of the scholarship.
Yes.
All right. So now our journey here is for you. You have to find the other half.
The other half.
Is it that they will accept you, or you have to come up with the other half before you go to the scholar to the?
Well, I've already been accepted, but in order for me to attend the school, I have to come up with the other half before the 1st of July.
That's the first half. That's like the 24,000 US for the first year at least.
Yes, for the first year at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Right. And so now that you're the date that you're supposed to go in, or you trying to get it for is on
The 1st of July.
1st of July.
Yes.
We in May. Lord, we work it out. God is good. Listen, this is the stuff that miracles are made for.
Yes.
These are the kind of things that miracles are made for. And that is why we're here. We actually brought her on because, we want to send a message out there and see if we have, we want to create some kind of funding or make some kind of way that people could start donating to this piece of brilliance right here that is going to go out there and represent and somehow come back to Trinidad and hopefully serve Trinidad.
Yes.
What is this? At the end of your studies, what's the end game for you here? What is it you really want?
Forward, I am pursuing becoming a veterinary surgeon, and I want that when I come back to Trinidad, I can create a hospital, one like we don't have, one like we've never seen before, not just a little vet clinic,
Right,
a good
but
little
a hospital
for animals.
Animals.
Yes.
You think that we have a love for animals inside Trinidad that
Not enough, We don't have enough love for animals in Trinidad, but
yeah.
I mean,
I have a neighbor that have a monkey right now as a pet. So you don't know what one day I might see the monkey come inside the veterinary clinic.
Yeah, that'll be good.
We don't know.
I'll be glad to see it. Yeah.
It's a little monkey. That's a really funny story with this monkey of mine. But it's really interesting that you want to do a hospital for animals, a veterinary hospital. I think that's very creative. I see where the mind is going here. And trust me, knowing the stock that she comes from, creativity, she's never going to be short of creativity. I'll tell you that. Never going to be short of creativity. And that's so wonderful that you took that element of, what your father would have done in one regard, even your mother as well, in one regard, and he would have, taken and put it in a different discipline. And so we want to actually support, Calissa on her journey. We want to find a way to bless her, get her. I was talking to your mama about doing, what other ideas have you hatched in terms of raising funds so far? Any ideas that I don't know, do barbecue and barbecue and you go and do barbecue and burn up the people and them chicken. But what other ideas?
I have some fundraisers coming up. One is supposed to be coming up at the end of this month, so look out for that. That is most likely going to be a breakfast box. And I'll be continuing to do fundraisers in June as well.
Yeah, we had to find some way to, test tickles. What? Why is that a name? Why would you give yourself that name? Test tickles. Testicles? Why? Why is that your Facebook name, though? No, that's not. You see what I'm trying to deal with here? Testicles said they will donate $100. How do we do it? Do we have we're going to put up a testicles thanks. Testicles, we appreciate all your offerings. But we're going to put up, there's a number on the screen. Test, just check it out.
Thank you for your donation, Test.
Sanitize testicles money, please, when you get it. Don't just receive anything from testicles just like that. Tickles, thanks, right? This is rich. I can't stop laughing at this thing. All right, so Calissa, we are already wanting to eat. I wish we were like Ellen, and then we could say, oh, we heard that you want to go to, here's a check, and you just pass a check. One day we could get big like that. Not so, Eric, we will be able to do something like that. where we have, you just walk
Yeah,
into
one
a
of these
check.
is. One of these is.
You just walk into a check right here, and we have it
You get
fold
in
up
there.
right in the corner, and it just, so probably for the hospital. We ain't doing it, but we try for the scholarship,
Okay.
but maybe for the hospital. You
That's
will-
sounding good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when
that
they
sounds
come back in 4 years' time, 5 years' time, we're ready for you. I understand. So, friends, this that's full circle for me because now we are introducing this young lady, and we want to support her in her ventures, and we wanted to go out there and make TNT proud. You understand? And it's an honor for me to bring her here and have this conversation with her because there's so much connection between us that you don't know behind the scenes. And so to open this door for her is a pleasure. Testicles, the number is on the screen there. Go to FCB. Folks, you could go there and donate. Also call any one of us if you want. And we'll be able to collect on her behalf. And, everything, every drop fills the bucket. Every single drop. If 7 persons or 8, let's say 6 persons put 100, that's 100 TT, that's 1 US. Let's say 7 persons. Put $100, that is 100 US. You understand? And then some people could give more. Give as you can. But we're asking that you assist in building this child's future. You understand?
Alan, I want to say something.
Talk to me.
The number on the screen, that's Calissa's mom's
Mom, that's Sherry
account.
and Charles, yeah. All right, yes.
The point I want to make is that Calissa would not be where she is except for the massive sacrifices that this lady has been making through the years.
On her own.
Exactly.
On her
as
own.
a single mom.
As a single mother.
Yeah.
I don't know why she, but she decided Jason was the one, and I don't know why. Sherry. I used to wonder why she was the man in the first place. I was like, Sherry, what are you doing with this man? Really? You could have do better. You could have do better. I said, just give you that. I think enough from you, start. Don't get inside this, Calissa. But I see by the time the man does, she say, hey, all right, I said, I see she not done, she said, she locked it down, and she did a wonderful job in raising this beautiful young lady on her own. You understand? So now, we want to show Sherry that support and get Calissa out there doing what she needs to do. And I know that you'll make your mother proud, make us proud, make TNT proud. You'll do the Caribbean well as well. And the big things are in store for you.
100%. That is my aim, to make everybody proud.
That's it. That's it. That's my daughter. That's my girl. That's my girl. Erica, get all the love ups tonight. Stay in the back there. Fireball. Fireball. Stay in the back there. So, friends, Calissa, we take a short break. We talk to 2 minutes, and we have some other fellas we want to bring on the inside. I realize what they like a setter. Anyhow, me ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't gonna say nothing. We living in a gun. Let me don't say nothing. Thanks, Calissa, for being here. And if we can, we'll find a way. If you could, as I said, if you could actually do a nice little benefit concert, something, it'd be nice as well. If you could string one along, so we could raise as much funds as possible. So we'll be, right behind you, supporting you all the way.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate every contribution.
I appreciate you being here. Have any boyfriend you want to say hello to?
No.
Right, good. No. No, eh? No. Not until 26. 26. 26. Leave she alone. Thanks for being here, friend. Right there. We take a break. We come right back. Rub-a-dub-dub. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome to your one-stop shop for all your vocal acting, audio advertising, and production needs. KV Voiceover Production Services takes care of all voicing requirements and are equipped to supply the right voice for all your advertisements, narrations, and audio voicing for virtual and live events. You can visit us online at www.kvvoice.com or contact us at 493-5387 or email at kvvpro1@gmail.com. KV Voiceover Production Services. We've got the voice to make things happen.
Oh, na, 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 na.
Nice. We are back. Calissa, listen, it was such a pleasure having Calissa. You know, I forget to ask the young lady, well, highlight what she's studying here in, here at, well, she'll be studying in Howard, sorry. She's doing a major in biology and a minor in chemistry. And that's what she's going to pursue going across there. So I want to wish Calissa all the very best in her journeys. No doubt, I know that she will do well. She's such a focused young lass. Really, really focused, and a blessing to see her be where she's at. I know that if her dad was alive today, he would be extremely proud. So, Jay, I take pleasure in being proud on your behalf. We take pleasure in being proud on your behalf. Yeah, and we're going to see this one through for you. Don't worry yourself. We are in. We got your back. Of course, friends, I realized for the past couple weeks, it's just an observation. I realized for the past couple weeks, not only gangsters interested in gun. I realized that somehow they just like, you know, we live in a gunman town. And they just like gun talk. Too little gun talk and everybody jump off. And I think this has to be what you would call a record for Rubber Dub Dub. Because we've never really had somebody come on 3 weeks in a row. You understand? I was observing when I was in Jamaica. I was in Jamrock. I ain't gonna talk about that just yet. Talk about them fellas because I know they can't get, or they can't wait to have this conversation. But I was in Jamrock. And I was like, you know what, let me start peeping and see what's going on with them fellas. I mean, the internet was giving some problems, so I couldn't really relate it, you know. And I couldn't call in. But I said, well, okay. And then the second week I see the same. I said, well, wait now. Oh, let's still talk about gun again. And then Eric said, they come that third week. Because he talk somehow carried on. Yeah. Hey, you find it? I ain't gunman will living in a gun. Well, then somebody playing that somewhere. Look at all in a here in a gunman's world. You see what I mean? Gun talk. So, friends, I want to welcome back to Rubber Dub Dub. Now, it will officially be now 3 men in a tub. But they're just visitors. You understand? We want to bring back the guys. Come, fellas. Welcome to it. You know, I don't have the names. I don't know who is who.
Good night, good night.
Good night, good night, good night. Welcome. Blessings. Andrew. And santinize you before you thing. And Brian. Santinize you a little bit. Tau. That's what we're supposed to do. They didn't sanitize the last time I was here. course they do. Okay, I'm gonna make sure now. Just wanna make sure. Because I realize sometimes when I'm not here, fellas, things just go all how now. I ain't say that them fellas do have order, you know. It's just that, you know, somebody had the glue to keep it together. Yeah. Meet Evo Stick. Meet Evo Stick. Good evening, fellas. Andrew and Brian. Welcome back to it, friends. I realize these people are on outside there. A lot of questions that weren't finished, but wasn't answered. And by public demand, you guys are back. So tonight, I asking Erica and them fellas and them what was the context of our conversation like tonight. How has it been for you guys since being here? Did you get personal calls, private calls, more engaging conversations?
Yes,
how was it like for you guys?
We got a lot of calls, and a lot of people more interested in training now. Because the calls that we got, they want to know when is the program, what program we're having, and that is where most of the conversation went.
Oh. So this is just about gun handling and
not only firearms.
What is that? I do like I did the first time talking tall, so I had a
holistic approach to personal protection.
Right.
But the focus would have been starting off introducing persons because of the influx of legal firearms that we have now for the purpose of informing and educating.
Personal protection. In what regard are we talking about personal protection when we're saying personal protection here?
Relative to the man in the street, the person who would apply, businessman, a mother who would apply for a firearm.
Right.
Right. Those are the people who we are more concerned with.
Right.
Teaching them how to use the firearm properly. Not only the use of the firearm, but also have the mindset to use the firearm.
Yeah, because in a situation when you reach for a firearm, you draw a firearm, it's a do or die kind of scenario, usually. Although some people, because they have it, it's a rank, so they tell themselves, I have a firearm. So
yes.
that mental training goes in there as well.
Yes. Exactly.
To prepare you for
the main part.
Psychologically, you don't because you have a gun, you go beat up your chest. I'm aware of a situation where somebody who legally has a firearm.
Yes.
Relationship scenario. Love went south. And because he has his firearm, would have used it to scare a young lady. How do we know? How do you manage a situation? All right, you get wind of it, that's what happened to him. And you know when love gone sour for some fellas, for us sometimes, how we could get that emotional. And if that's not always, there's a contemplation of that. And I don't put it on the table now because I was actually close enough to that situation to have to help navigate. You understand? You understand?
Yes.
So how do we now deal with a situation like that with somebody who owns a farm and love going south? What do you then do?
That is where we come in. We educate the person. Because according to the law, that is common assault. One time, if the wife goes and make a report, the police would come and seize the firearm.
But it didn't. In this case, it didn't.
Was a report made?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, it was. I can tell you categorically it was.
Okay.
And the person, they didn't get to, they were at the police station. Somebody actually had to rescue them. Good night to the guests. That's Victory, yeah.
Urena Victory.
Good night, Urena. I'm people full name now. You see what test? I'm calling one or the other. The first or the last name. I said Victory. That's it. I'm not going to call nobody full name. Not from what I saw here tonight. You understand?
Yeah, well, along the same line too, what we are about is about informing people and educating them. Now, we can't stop people from doing anything they want to, but sometimes people may do things that they didn't know they could not have.
Okay.
So that may be one and a off. So if that had happened to that person, another person is informed, it may curb it from happening to somebody else. because there is a speed limit.
Right.
People still speed.
Right.
So all you could do is inform and educate. The decision still up to the person, but now they're making an informed decision what is legal and what is illegal and what could be done. The mental preparation, carrying that firearm and having the responsibility of a firearm is what we're about.
I was aware of a situation at night. I was invited by a small birthday lime right in the neighborhood of Bureau there. And a soldier, a ranking soldier who would have had his firearm on. He was there. A fight was kind of brewing up, an argument, a dispute. And I saw, and I'm just leaning to what you're saying here. And he was standing across the road watching the whole thing. And while it brewing up, he jumped in his car and he drove home one time. He didn't try to intervene. He didn't try to come and say, hey, you look cool lad. You just having a nice little lime here, and the fella just jump in the car, lime done for you. Could that be like one of the training? Is that, because to me, I'm like, but why? Yeah, so yeah, you're supposed to at least come and say something, but again, his mentality, whatever is going on with him, he decided.
I mean, it was a personal decision, and I too might have made that same decision. You too might have made that same decision because you don't know how it may have spread.
Yeah,
because you come to part me, and my partner see you come in. So again, remember, it's about your responsibility and your decision making. Was he on work? No. So it's a different.
He was hanging.
So we're talking about
drinks in hand.
People who have firearms, even protective services, civilian population who carry it in their personal capacity. There is the training for agency-wise, but we started off dealing with the concealed carry aspect of it.
Oh, okay. I beg to the question when it comes to individuals who, have these apparatus on them. And you hear, like I just mentioned, the situation where the guy love on the way out, love on the way down, and he decides to flip a script, Do you now call him back in? Is there a measure now to start dealing with something on that side of the table? Should there not be something done?
All of that is done in the mindset. When we do in the mindset, all of that is done. Because you're talking about relationships. People heart get broken, they go south. So here we create scenarios to help the person see, hey, that is me there.
Somebody's saying, hold up the mic, Mr. Caruth. So that when you're talking, so they can hear
Okay,
you.
will do.
All right, good. Thanks. We have outside broadcasters. It's still going on here, so keep you on my toes. Let's keep you on my toes. Go ahead.
Yes, so we do that part in a scenario setting to let them see, hey, if that is you, that's the person who you should not be when the heart goes out. So we teach people to walk away. And we show them the law, what it says, the fine, and everything. So they have a complete picture of the situation.
In a situation like that, when you have even when you're going into that situation like that, they don't tell you personally full law. And this is where psychologically it is. This is where the challenges for me when it comes to this, to your guys' training. Because it's, what you're talking about is partly rehabilitative in a sense. It's rehabilitative because it's after the fact, something going wrong and this person really, so now could the person now should I call you mate to you guys and say, yeah, I'm not right in my right head. Do you now say, listen, bring your firearm in, or send a firearm, put your firearm away?
Yeah. Yes, we'll guide them.
Yeah?
We will guide anybody who would have come to us for assistance along that line.
Yeah. Sorry, that's just the neighbors. That's how we just do it inside.
We met it already.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're familiar with it? Yeah, that's how it does go along inside here sometimes. They just don't know how to lower when they're passing rubber dub. You have to pass sign. Eric, you have to pass sign outside here. Silence when Eric, silent zone. Eric, you hear, man. You know what you're listening to. Realize it.
Yeah, we go get that. We go get that.
Okay, thanks,
yeah. The fright now, yeah.
Silent zone, a nice big neon light blinking outside. Silent zone, library zone.
On a delay. On a delay.
Oh, right, you're on the delay. All right. Mr. Williams, so do you all teach? So you also teach the law?
Yes.
Yeah. You do?
Yes, we do.
Tests? Yeah, they do.
You see, what we try to give is a holistic approach. To say that you are competent to walk around with a firearm in public, you must have the mental mindset, and you must have the physical abilities to function safely and effectively. So we try to do is give a ground foundation. So basically you could operate on your own, because at 2 o'clock in the morning, none of us will be there with you, you know. So now you have to make a decision based on what is happening, and how you respond will be based on your training. If you don't know, you'll do things you may not supposed to do. And if you don't know, you may not do things you're supposed to do.
We don't do tasks.
Right.
We train.
And there's a difference, a clear
Yes.
difference. Task and training.
Yeah.
Two different.
It's like, we have a saying, we carry the range to the classroom, but we carry the street to the range.
You carry the range to the classroom.
Yes.
And then
we
you
carry
carry
the street to
the
the range.
range.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So we prepare you for the street. We don't prepare you for our range.
I have a very interesting question, but I don't want to ask it now. I want to ask it when we pass the 10 o'clock hour.
Okay.
Because I think that will invite another set of probably questions and interaction that we must also focus on. But in terms of in the space where the man comes off the street, have you witnessed in your training where you were able to see some people actually become a lot more mature in understanding the importance of firearm? Because, like I said, sometimes they come in with this wild Western gunman there, like the OK Corral kind of. They come in there like, we come for gun, we want to learn to shoot, and then you realize, hey, take it up.
We have been in this business for the past, together, Mr. Caruth and myself, for the past 20 years. And we saw it all. We saw people coming with the balloon head, and when they leave with the head screw on properly.
Right.
And they say thank you. And that is how we get our gratitude, when we could make a change.
Right.
That is one part. And then we see the person now come, and they're timid. They come in because of friends talking and that kind of thing, they get a firearm, but they're afraid it. And when they leave, they're competent. When they say competent, the confidence,
right?
The confidence went up 100%.
Right.
They're assertive. But the part that everybody has talked about is to defend yourself when they use it. That is what everybody has gravitated towards. Everybody has forget the firearm after, you know, and gravitate towards the law. How can I defend myself after I don't use it? How I can live with that psychological trauma?
Yeah.
And we explain that. No. If you are, let us say, in your profession, entertainer. I knows nothing about the entertainment industry. Can I teach you anything about it? No. I have to experience it in order to teach it. When you experience it, you can teach it.
Gentlemen, look at an important question.
Can someone who is currently living with someone who has a criminal record be able to apply an FUL? Can someone who is living with someone who has a criminal record will be able to apply for an FUL?
Yes, you don't have a criminal record.
So personally, I don't have a criminal.
If you have a...
So if she has a criminal record, she people and rough people.
Right, but you don't have a criminal, you don't have a criminal record. You can apply, but when the investigator comes and gather all the facts, sends it back to the firearms unit, then they would make a decision.
Whether she okay, whether
Yeah.
okay to have the
But there's a lot of that goes into it.
Other
The
information, right.
The investigator would gather that information and present it to firearms unit, and they would make a decision on it.
All right. Because in a situation like that, let's use the next question. Blessed night. So a lot more training targeting real life scenarios that a lot of people overlook. A lot of people overlook them.
Well, actually, 95% of our training, I say, is scenario based. Because we try to put you into the situation to understand it. We have a saying that training must be practical, realistic, and relevant. If those three things will come together for no matter what type of training, it wouldn't be effective. So I'm telling you this, but then I'm putting you in a situation where you have to live it and do it. A lot of time, the John Wick syndrome doesn't leave because they're actually living it out now.
I don't think I could ever leave a John Wick syndrome. I think I think if you want to train me to do that, I go back and watch plenty more John Wick. And I go in and try and accentuate whatever training. Oh, you tell me what else
I'm glad you brought that up. Because we came to answer a question tonight that was posed for the past 2 weeks about the persons who wanted the tactical training. So we come to put a conclusion to that part of it.
All right, let's go in. Let's know. You have enough time to put that in? Eric? Yeah. I see in 2 minutes that we're supposed to have a halftime special. We do have a halftime special.
No, not
Daddy.
We could put you on.
You want to find one in a couple of minutes.
If
Right, go find a halftime special. You know people is stickler for the thing inside here. I tell her if I don't come in here and they glue the whole together.
Yeah, think. Actually, we have a couple of videos that
they sent?
Andrew sent in.
Right, but then you'll do that for the halftime special? Yeah. All right, so let's tackle it. And then you can even...
Right, wait, so I want to ask a question.
Go ahead.
To you, Mr. Allen, would you do a tactical program?
I have no problem doing that.
Thank you. So now we would commence.
Right. That's not that setup. That's a cloak and dagger kind of thing. What went on here?
No. You said
what is going on here?
Yes.
You just wanted their opinion.
Yes. I would.
Right.
I would.
So we can
personally, I would do it. Personally, because I believe
you need it.
No, not necessarily. I would just do it as a challenge for me.
Oh, the question was,
if I would do a tactical
training. We gave you all, because we gave firearms to everyone who viewing, we gave them FULs.
Right.
I want to know all those who would have won to do a tactical program,
right,
having the FUL.
I would do it.
Right. So, just a quick question.
I feel like you're a cloak and dagger fix it first, but there you go.
If an incident took place and they say, person from the protective services, whatever agency or branch, were responding, and you step one of them and ask them, when was the last time you trained for a situation like this? And the first guy told you, 4 months ago I finished off a course. And the next guy in the line told you, well, we train every day at least 2-3 hours with this same scenario-based incidents.
Mm-hmm.
Which one would you want to go?
You want to train every day?
Train every day.
Every day. Every day.
Right.
And I'm a bodyguard right there.
What do you think, or what would you believe or like that training to be for that person to come to your home to save you and your family?
Tactical wise?
No, what training you would need?
What training?
Apart from firearm, I don't know.
But you want to do a tactical? You want to do?
For me personally, what I would need?
No. What you believe they would need?
The officer. What you think the officer would need?
Well, I would think. Well, yes, something tactical, self-defense, not just self-defense. Well, you would want to know that they have firearm. That firearm.
All right. So let me switch the question. If you see some men coming to protect you and your family, and they say they're coming to go into that building there, what would you expect them to have with them to get into that building to complete the job? So I'll give you a start. If something like that happens, how much persons will come? 1, 2, or more?
You're talking about some intruders?
Yeah.
No.
Because we told you somebody's protective service coming to assist.
Right.
How much persons will you believe? 1 person, 2, 3?
I think I think 3 persons might be
3.
might be a good enough, a round figure to have.
Okay.
To come protect your space.
And what would that...
According to the nature of the protection or the size of the space or whatever the case.
What would those persons be wearing to protect them?
Tactical gear, bulletproof vests, and
what tools would they have?
The firearm, a nightstick, one of them nightsticks, something.
How much firearms? Most of the time you'll see that happening with?
I would think two. Assault rifle and a handgun.
Then they know that coming, they'll have communication also too, right?
Of course.
And then they know help coming too, right?
Right.
And then those guys, they say train every day for 2-3 hours. Like the team you want.
Of course.
So their training will entail cardio. So
yes.
Just running.
Some survival, something.
Training,
yeah.
Core training.
Right.
Right.
That song, and I'll cut in. That song a little bit more like what I would do but my personal trainer. No, there's gym.
Mm-hmm.
But he says some people go to the gym for a look, just to get bulky and big.
Mm-hmm.
You see, but when you're working out, there are a lot of things you have to cater for. That the text in this one very, very fine. So it kind of you can see that.
Good night, Jen. Should evidence of training after competency become mandatory for
all FUL holders annually? What about adding? What about adding in psychiatric assessment during the years?
Yeah. Well, we'll come to that because those things are already in play.
All right. So you're saying that you have to think strength, physical, endurance, because that's what you think you're talking about when it comes to stamina and stuff. You're talking about endurance.
Yeah.
Because I did a little bit of boxing. A little bit of boxing. I get my tail, but in the ring, in boxing training, I realized how much stamina you need to have and endurance.
So fight fitness.
That is a totally different level.
Right. So we continue now. So I have to go into that house.
Right.
So we have to understand angles.
Right.
We have to understand construction designs, tubular, cube, circular, whatever design. You have to understand how the acoustics will be in an enclosed area with one of them big guns going off. Right? You have to understand, let's say cornering, because they have a lot of sharp corners in there and they work with a long gun.
Right.
And you have to understand, you have to go in first and come out last.
All right.
Are you willing to go through all of that? Because you're a businessman and you have a FUL.
That's difficult.
Yeah, but I tactical training.
I know that. That's difficult. I don't.
But you know, say you want it.
Just let me get him, John.
Wait.
I done there.
Wait. We haven't reached that part yet.
Yeah, we
finished yet.
Where we going with this?
We are finished yet.
So let's have more. Let me hear this.
Yeah.
Where we going again?
So we're talking now. We can start with the protective gear.
Right.
So you willing to put on that Kevlar helmet? Strap it up.
I just ain't entertain. I know, Papi. Listen, I just ain't entertain. Let me tell you one time.
Listen.
No.
You said you want to do a tactical program.
I got it.
Yeah, so we're going.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Right. So you here it have 3 gunmen inside of it. Everybody armed to the teeth, and you know you have to bring them out.
Right.
Are you equipped with the mindset to go inside it?
Initially, probably not.
Yes or no? Yes
when
or
I done
no?
with tactical?
What's that?
When I finish with the tactical?
Yeah.
Probably not quite.
All right.
I might not have the testicles.
When you said you
I might not have the testicles to reach in. I might to defend myself, stay and shoot and run probably.
No, you cannot.
I can't do that.
You have to go
I have
in
to engage.
and stay there.
I have to engage.
Yes.
Tactical.
Tactical.
That's what you want.
Right.
You get anywhere you want.
No, again, no, we're talking 2 or 3 of...
That's a different mentality altogether there, you know.
So you understand the point we're making?
Yeah, that's a different mentality. That's what I say you're going. It's a mentality now that you're shaping.
Yes.
What we give people, we don't give people in that capacity tactical programs. We give them defensive programs.
Right.
There's a big difference. And the defense starts from, let's say you reach an engagement, starts from this trigger squeeze and may end up to the court.
You have to go now and
justify
the actions. Person is running from you, they bust 2 bullets, they run from here, you bust 2 back. Or you just have to wait until it's How you know that? They bust 2 bullets, they run from you. They can't shoot in the back. It could be a case.
I wouldn't say so. It all depends on
Oh, yeah, turn around,
circumstances.
please. Turn around.
You see?
All right. All right. Let me give you a scenario. We lie in here. 2 men jump that wall. 1 with a gun.
Good night, Miss Barataria. Locked on, listening.
1 with a gun. 1 don't have anything. 1 with the gun. Grab your chain. Let me say your madam sitting down next to you. Touch her inappropriately and jump back over the wall. You now take out your firearm and go to hit the man with the gun who jumping over the wall but hit his partner who didn't have nothing. Justify that in court. Thank you very much.
Listen.
But you want to do a tactical program.
Or you know what time it is for them fellas? I tell you in the court that you know what time it was for them
No,
fellas?
no. The court deals with evidence.
Or said, no, you had to
justify what you did.
I would say, listen, that was justifiable what they do to me, 2 of them. I don't know. I just say.
Yeah, we understand it. That is your response to it.
But we understand. So there's a lot more clearly that goes into what we're talking about in terms of this training.
Yeah.
And tactical. So can anyone really and truly, just for the sake, let's just say, if I was our worried children who, the whole, anyhow, but yeah, I'm really edgy. I forgive me. I'm kind of edgy sometimes. You see how edgy I am. Wants to do tactical training. Do you all provide that, or is that available as well?
Yes.
Just for the sake of training.
Training. If you have an FUL, we train you how to use the firearm. If you don't have an FUL, then we train you how to be more aware.
Right.
We teach you about, give you the law, and we show you how to defend yourself before a court.
But there is a way with the tactical thing.
Let me put it this way. Tactical program to be more designed for protective services persons.
Right. So they wouldn't necessarily put
a FUL holder. Let me put it this way. I am a businessman. How much persons will get up each morning and do a 2 mile? That's part of tactical training, right? So I'm a businessman, so I'm operating in that realm. So your program will be based defensively because you want to get the defensive mindset. All right, let's put it this way. 6 men break in your house, 4 of them armed. Do you have the capability to go and hunt them 4 men?
I've been John Wick.
Right, because
I just think John.
Right, you do a tactical program and you train all them gears, right?
That's all you have to think.
Do you have a bulletproof vest home?
Of course not.
Who are you going to call as your backup? Your son, your wife, your daughter? If you alone.
But Brian.
But you alone.
John Wick had his outfit.
John Wick is a movie, you know.
John Wick had his protective gear in his suit.
Yes. You have one, right?
Eric, John Wick had his protective gear in his suit. They shoot his chest. He hit the thing off his chest so it bumps off like, yo.
And you see plenty stars die and come back in our next movie?
We know.
Yeah, that don't happen in real.
Who is this one? Let's see. Good night.
Good night, Jet.
Should have. Oh. Good night. Which range do you'll operate out of? Some info on that, on the classes, please. Which range do you all operate from, and some more info on the classes?
We operate out of the Chagaramas shooting range. That is the Trinidad Rifle Association.
Right, and
our contact numbers 718-9535. That is the Firearm Instructors Regional Association contact number.
You know, I ain't gonna call. People not calling this number. We have a number on screen for them to call? Yeah. Or the WhatsApp number that's on the screen? All right, so what we'll do, we'll jump in. We have 2 videos that we'll take because we done just past the halftime special, but we'll still slide in the halftime special, which we'll highlight one or two of the videos that the gentleman and them, this gentleman was able to give us. We come back in and we have some other questions to ask. Feel free to type up the questions, get ready to launch it. Our capable team will, of course, be able to highlight it, and we'll try and get as much of your questions answered. So don't go anywhere earlier. Rubber Dub Dub is still in the building, friends. Halftime special. Take a look. We come right back.
Before we go, the first video has no song. It's kind of rough.
Right.
But it's a point the guys wanted to make, so we selected the video. So we'll start with that and then we'll run the next one.
Tau. Tau, tau. Yeah. So there's the car chase. Actually, this is what he was showing a little earlier. Well, Eric was actually playing it before, just to make sure there are no obscenities. So I see the police. There's a police chase here, friends, and the police was able to, and they come out and they show the full body. Tau tau. Police take them down. How was that possible? Under that type of fire, look at that. You're under heavy fire there, You're under heavy fire. Look, how do you now maintain a good aim under such heavy fire?
Mindset and training.
2 things.
And then the other police came. And they see one tap on each shoulder.
Yes.
Good job. Good shooting.
Actually, it may seem kind of callous as it did that. But in your emotional trauma base, one of the things you will encounter after a critical incident is elation. You ever been in an accident and see a man come out smiling, boy, I could have did it?
Yeah, he survived.
Right. It's because of that psychological trauma, that the effect of it. After you walk away from that, that is one of the things that happened to you. Elation that's coming about. So it's not to say that they're glad they did it, and it's that we prevail in that situation.
Yeah.
That is
it could have been worse.
Yeah,
we could have.
So you'll see people in accident come out and smiling and talking, boy, I could have did it and smiling.
In a wreck.
It's because of that. That is
survival.
One of the,
that's survival.
That is one of the things that happen to you in emotional stress. One of the factors that take this elation.
Wow. Wow. So we have a second video.
Even mortally wounded, a bad guy can stay in the fight a long time. Hi everyone, this is John with today's active self-protection lesson. I'm not positive where today's lesson comes from. If you have any more information, please put it in a comment in the description and I will add it. But we see here a couple of bad guys, look like motochoros to me, in a third world country, who are gonna start putting shots on target. We're gonna see a good guy just off camera put some really accurate shots on target, but we're gonna see here how long someone can stay in the fight, even if they're hit in a vital area. We don't get a lot of context on this one. We get these guys here that are coming up, these motochoros that are on this motorcycle here, and they're just gonna decide that they wanna get after whoever it is that's on the other side of this gate, which is actually very common in some parts of the world. They get off, and now we're just gonna see these guys decide that they're gonna have a gunfight here. They're gonna hold this guy up and start to have a gunfight. And really there's a big lesson here about being ready in the moment to get shots back on target. Now this guy in the front, you see him, he is shot incredibly badly. He can't use his legs anymore, guys. But look, he continues to be a threat. You see him, he's still got the gun in his hand. He's still getting shots on target, even though it looks like he has been shot mortally, or he has been shot so badly in the pelvic girdle that he has lost the use of his legs. That's the big lesson here. The big lesson in this video is that even if you shoot somebody and incapacitate them, they can still be a deadly threat. We see this guy is badly shot. He looks like he's looking at his guts and seeing what's going on, but he is still a threat. And so you gotta shoot until the threat stops, because the threat can continue even if you wound them this badly. I don't know what else happens after this one ends, but at least the good guy drove the bad guys off, did enough to keep himself safe and to cover his asp.
That video would have been in relation to the question I posed last Tuesday, and people would have misunderstood what I was saying. What I was saying, that if your firearm is not designed to kill, It is to stop the threat. But if the threat is active, you shoot until the threat stops. And that video was just to show the point I was making. I never said leg, arm, shoulder. But if the threat stops, you stop, because now you would have become the person who's assaulting. So as long as the threat continues, you'd be justified. But if the threat stops, you stop, because we don't want people having a mindset is to kill, and there's no longer a threat, and they would continue because they have to fulfill that particular objective of killing. That was the point I was trying to get across last Tuesday.
Wow. I saw it. There's a movie for me right there. I ready to watch John Wick. I'm watching it again. There's John Wick 5. There's John Wick 5. So that is like, oh, hey, my legs. And he's still determined.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I saw a tactical training where these gentlemen, there was this guy shooting above a soldier's head. A guy who was actually into tactical training sent me a video like that. Well, okay, man.
I didn't know the video.
He was actually being trained. I don't know if it was Marines training or whatever training it was, but they were shooting. The fella was just shooting. I actually shot the ground next to him, and he also keep low while walking in a certain time. Shoot the ground next to him, and was firing the gun right close to his ears, right close to his head. Shoot him. I was like, what kind of training? He said that's a different level of tactical training, right?
Conditioning him for that element.
That kind of fight.
For the purpose of his...
That is total warfare you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
So it come back to the purpose you get the FUL for.
Mm-hmm.
To defend yourself. And as I said, there are a lot of defenses. The physical defense.
You know what? I keep this right.
You may have to put up a medical defense. What about the emotional defense? You know anybody who have ever bounced a child?
Yes.
And it have been a while back, right?
Yes.
And I'm sure it still affects them.
Yes.
Now you actually going to take a life. Not everybody built the same. So it may affect you differently than it affect me. But people have to learn that the possibility exists that some level of trauma will come into play for some persons. Let's say now you have a firearm. Have you ever thought about taking a life in front of your 6-year-old child? Or your mother? Or your spouse? So you have to be mentally prepared.
I have a question. I just know. Good night. How can I learn more practical aspect? In what way, Vidish? A more practical aspect of, in terms of, maybe you could give a little more clarity on that question. Yeah. I have a question, however. What about the instance of you being approached without the FUL training for those who had to face somebody who has a firearm pointing at them? What kind of mental conditioning? Because forget about trying to defend yourself. What should one do in the instance of somebody actually, I don't know if you touched on that before. What should one do in the instance where somebody has a firearm pointing at them in the midst of a robbery? What are some of the tips you could give folks who are in being the victims of gun crime? Not necessarily being shot, but they see in a situation where the person is. How does one position themselves mentally to deal with that?
All right. Well,
I throw you off. I'm not throwing off. That's a hard question there for
that is this question.
All right, okay, that's it.
So, first, we'll say, give that person what they want. Don't try to be a hero. But still have life, and you would work to get back what they took. Do not try to be a hero. 1. 2. After that, get some counseling. Get counseling, because that is a very traumatic event. And I've seen a lot of people never come out of that. Some people turn hermit because of that.
Businesses shut down. Good business ideas, stuff start shut
because
down.
of that. Yeah. Give them what they want.
When they say get counseling, where do you go to, or who? What is the agency set up for something like that? Do you know off the top of your head?
I can't say off the top of my head, but I know there is some level of correct me if anybody out there knows. It's in the health facilities, health centers and things. I think every Tuesday they have something to deal with persons who suffer.
Kirk is asking, should a FUL holder decide to employ the OWB, what's that?
Outside the waistband holster.
Outside the waistband holster position, would they have broken any law? Outside the waistband?
Yes.
What is that? I don't know.
Outside the waistband is that you have your firearm displayed outside.
Outside?
Yeah.
So a normal FUL holder, if they decide to employ that,
we don't have outside the waistband laws here in Trinidad. Everything is concealed.
Inside.
Tuck it in your waist.
Yes. And cover it up.
Tuck it in.
So,
All right.
So you're supposed to be guided with proper clothing.
Yes.
Proper position where you would carry a firearm, and proper presentation or drawing techniques from those positions.
I have been, and I hope that answers your question, Kurt. I was actually in a maxi already that was robbed. It was, now as a comedian, you find out kind of ways to say it, but this was like the jukiest robbery on the planet. You could have seen it coming a mile away in a sense. And like, yo, and this is happening to me. I mean, I had cash on me, about $1,500 in cash, jewelry. But they like to drop off, and their robbery was like, why we going? We just taking it for that money. That's the silliest thing about it. The person who's robbing the maxi driver, you could walk up in a remand point, look the fella right there. Because he's always right there.
Right.
It was crazy. But this is where it kind of took a turn for me. And I know you say give the person what they want. But I probably broke the rules on that night, because there was, when they realized, because I started snapping off things when I see things happening, I watch the maxi driver, I pull off, take my stuff, I take my cash. But people don't understand, I'm 360 degrees all the time. So if something happening like that around me, I set up things. I simply take the cash. There's not nobody around in the back, so you know it's organized crime these days. Somebody in the back, somebody in the front. But these two guys was to the front. I take the cash out, I say, in case they make a sweep, and I drop the cash on the ground, and I mash my money. I take off my jewelry, and I start putting it below my leg or down on the ground. Eric, the guys come to the side, when the fella see my thing, he say, what you thinking about? And he have a gun. So he come down the side of the maxi, and say, give me all your phones. I didn't have my phone on me. I had my grandmother's phone in my pocket. Old little me too. Give me all your phones. I say, pal, this is my grandmother's phone I have in my pocket here. Give me it. I say, this is my grandmother's phone, partner. You don't want this phone. I start chatting with the fella, insisting I don't want to give me the phone. You ain't give me the phone, huh? About 3 times you had asked for the phone. I mean, that's a no-no. That's a no-no. Because we could be agitating the person. No?
Yeah. Agitating the person, but you do what you want. Because sometimes that trigger, that finger on that trigger there, and it will go off. So don't agitate. Simply give them it.
And you practice one of the greatest elements of personal protection, situational awareness.
Yes.
Yeah.
You were aware of your surroundings and what was taking place, and that is a key element. Again, to return those situations, try and observe. Now, it's very traumatic for somebody that happened to first time. But try and observe so you could give a description after.
Yes. And that's what I want to come to.
But again, most people, that trauma, having that fan pointed at them, the mind blank out.
Yeah.
The mind
that fear.
Yeah, that fear. So it's something that they practice daily, so it become conditioning to you. You might see a scar, you might see a tattoo, you might see something that will identify the person. But if it's trauma, we have been taught to fear firearms, eh?
Right.
You respect it. If you fear something, it wouldn't be effective. I have the biggest dog in the world, but I afraid it too. Who's the alpha in the yard? He goes out to do what you want. So the same principle. You respect it. But if you fear it, it wouldn't be able to function.
Right.
So just like how we could have identified, your fear factor wasn't there. So not to be a hero, but okay, observe, and the situational awareness will help you be able to respond faster than somebody not aware and anything going on.
Yeah. Let's see. Darren is asking, as a civilian discharging your firearm ending in fatality, how do you answer questions being asked from law enforcement investigators?
But before they answer that, look at the comment somebody posts right after it.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, you don't have to answer immediately. Court is more important. Take your time, gather your thoughts after an incident, and seek guidance.
Right.
Interesting. Is that the way to go?
What would you do? What would you do?
Me, John Wick, I would.
Yes, let us hear John Wick. Let us hear John Wick.
Me, John, I probably a little audacious. I like, yeah, I do what I do. Yeah.
And
here's why. Right, but here's why, and here's the drama for your mama.
Mm-hmm.
In a situation like the robbery in the Maxi, I say I know the gentleman, and I know we could go and point him out and say, look, him day. And tell this police and them, the man day. And they never touch that soul. This is hands down what I'm talking about. I paint an expectation again fear. Another scenario, same situation where the person was assaulted actually by the fellow with the fire. Make the report. His firearm was never confiscated. One. A protection order was supposed to be put in place. That in reaching court yet. It's close to 2 months. You see how retarded the system might be. And I say retarded because I call it retarded as I talk about how slow it is. Justice is always seemingly in reverse order here. It's never forward. And so sometimes when persons think there's a discrepancy where that is concerned. Because if the police did it, they have all the rights in the world and they have all the stuff in the world. If you as a civilian who have your FUL done, you're going to be dragged across the coals. Some people will call you a hero, but then others will call you a villain. For me, I like the gentleman's remark in terms of gather your thoughts and seek counsel first. Because 9 out of 10 times when these things happen, we don't know the course of action because we're very ignorant when it comes to the law. Right. We pretend we know. You might tell me I learned something and I then go on because I know more than Jim in the street, I beat my chest up. But half of what you know, you only give me a quarter, half of what you know.
Well, I'm giving you nothing at all.
And nothing at all. And I go out there as a hero.
Yeah. And I don't know if I misunderstood what you were saying, but probably from your experience, I wouldn't say a person will be dragged across the coals, because there have been incidents where civilians did use their firearms and they were justified in using it. It's just the police would need to know
what happened,
that
it was actually justified in doing it. So that is what the investigation will.
There's a certain atmosphere of misinformation that is being spread, that if somebody shoot, one time they're going before the court.
Right.
No, it doesn't happen that way.
There's a process.
There's a process. An investigation must take place. And based upon the facts of the investigation, then you know if you are justified or not. But the police can't determine that.
The police can't determine that or
they can? They can determine that. So then After that investigation is completed, it goes to the DPP.
Right, and that's the question I was not going to ask. In terms of the process, a shooting incident happens.
Yes.
Police is asking the questions.
Yes.
No arrest could yet readily be made.
Gathering evidence. However, if initial evidence show that you might
foul play, right?
Foul play is involved, you can be arrested.
It's really on that side, on that note, that's the officer's discretion. They will see, okay, something's not right here.
Yeah.
They will detain you.
Based on the facts that are evident.
Based on the initial facts.
Okay. So test, you know what to do. You can't shoot and you know what I'm saying. And just go willy-nilly.
You know, after a critical incident, certain things happen to your mind, right? And you will leave out things because your mind will try to put back things in a constructive order that it's accustomed to. And after a while, when it come down, then the memory comes back.
Right.
There are a lot of distortions that take place in a critical incident. You have audio, visual, color, memory distortions, all those things take place. So try to remember one time when it was real frightening and you realize time dilation all takes. Either slow down or speed up, certain things will happen to your body and your mind.
Yeah.
But if something happens to you now and try to describe it to me right after, you've been a mess.
Fight or flight.
You might even remember your own name.
Yeah. Fight or flight. Yeah.
So you had to come down.
I remember one time when I tell you, I love John Wick in me a long time. I tell you that a long time.
You have a little John Wick in you?
A little John Wick.
All right.
True story.
I'll give you one scenario.
All right.
How often you come to the studio here?
We come once a week.
For how much years or months?
Well, how long we been this? About a year now? A year? Yeah. Not here, but in terms of Rubber Dub, when we...
No, this studio, this environment.
No, a couple months.
Couple months. So, you walking onto this studio and you could tell me everything that is here, present with you. True or false?
Yeah.
All right.
I kind of...
How many plants at the back of you?
A couple. It's about 7 plants. 8.
Check it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 7, 8, 9, 10. I ain't in the vicinity. Give or take 3 or 4.
Plants, I'm saying, yeah?
Plants. Look at 1, 2, 3.
Why
do you counting plants? Why are you counting the plants?
But John, we could tell you that. Because when it comes to observe everything.
Eric, we're laughing at.
He would observe everything.
No, Brian was actually mentioning. And no, this is me. I would observe. I'm really a keen observer of stuff. For instance, I mean, I was going to piggyback on something he said in terms of fight and flight. Sometimes when you're in the battle and your adrenaline pumping, whether you're in fear or you're in fight or flight, your adrenaline pumping.
Yeah.
I remember I was doing security for a certain company, and I was running on a perpetrator. Stole something and I towel behind him. When I asked to see the bag that he now steal the item in, I running down this fella, we're inside of the fall, and let's use this. And get a call for the night. Rubber Dub.
Good night.
Good night.
I don't really hear much from the host voice. From the guest voice.
You're not hearing much, you're not listening. What am I supposed to mean? The mic's off? They've been doing all the talking.
You just joined us.
Yeah. All right, you're on Facebook. Just rewind a little bit. Go from about just before 10, and you will get a lot. I'm sure, and it can come forward after. But we understand. Now the thing is, running around the fella, run him down. The fella say, I said, "Must see a bag," and he swing at me. And now I get mad. They make me run it down all this way. And to get his stuff he stole, then they swing at me. And I lunge at him. And we struggling sued. And boy, oh boy, I don't see he's on the line again. Rubber Dub. That's correct. But it's 1.5, because he halfway here. How you going?
I'm listening to your program about this
thing about defending yourself with your firearm.
Go ahead.
Right. My point is, someone invades your home, you have a licensed firearm. And when you draw the firearm, now this person probably shoot at you twice, probably give you a flesh wound or something.
Mm-hmm.
And while they are running from you, probably down the step, you shot them twice in the back and kill them. The law has a way of saying that if you shoot a man in his back running from you, it cannot be self-defense. But if he has a gun in his hand, you never know when he could turn around and shoot at you. Not because a man is running from you, you can't shoot him in self-defense. He could turn around with a gun at any time and shoot at you. And the point is, you are already traumatized. I think that the criminal, the law is designed to suit the criminal and not the person who is attacked or the offending. The law it always seems stacked in favor of the lawyers and the criminal. And likewise, when you go to the police station, they treat you, the complainant, as the criminal. How do you know the man that came? How do you know the man that they ask you all kind of embarrassing questions? This is why people are turning into already vigilante. I mean, a man come in my house, rape and shoot, roam my wife. Why should I go to the police station when I could hire somebody to get justice for me by blowing out his brain somewhere? People are accessing and facilitating crime because they're not happy with how the law handles them. You go to the police station, look at all these people that kill the woman, they put money out, they say they make so much report. The justice system in here is an injustice system. Not a justice system. A man comes in my house, damages my property, ruins my family, and I shoot him running up my step in his back. And the police tell me I cannot shoot a man in self-defense in his back, and he has a gun in his hand. I have to wait and say, excuse me, sir, turn around, let me shoot you. The law is really an ass. And I'm saying it is better in Trinidad to be one copy from the ground to own an illegal firearm because nobody knows you have it or you don't have to report to the station. They're encouraging people to have legal firearms to defend themselves. Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yep, I hear that.
There is no justice. There is no justice in this country for the law abiding. There's none. No justice for the law abiding. You are taking the court and your birth paper, your mother record, your father, your grandfather, go back to slavery, all of this brought to court to defame you and you chastise you and the criminal walks out like a saint. It's not right.
Yep.
We are fools. We give all the privileges and rights to the criminal.
It would seem so. Thanks so very much for sharing. Thanks for sharing.
If a man attacks my family, I wouldn't go to the police the way we operate now. I will go to a criminal organization and give a man $1,000 to kill him.
But what about the scenario? Caller, you hear me?
Yeah.
What about the scenario of going to them for assistance and they turn on you? Because there's that you leave yourself open for that.
I trust who I'm going to. I know plenty criminal people. I know people who will probably hire themselves. I could find that out. That is commonplace. Now we're living in the real world, you know.
All right.
I remember Roger said the only reason you're alive today is because nobody wants you.
Yeah. All right. All right. Thanks so very much for sharing. Yeah, man, bless. The views of our callers are not the ones of Rubber Dub Dub. We cannot subscribe to violence in that way, friends. Vigilante violence, vigilante stuff, we're not necessarily subscribing to, but we do understand the sentiments of the caller.
The concern of the caller, and again, there's some level of misinformation. I can't remember anywhere the law says you cannot shoot somebody in the back in self-defense. Look at the keywords he used.
Yeah. The sea's on the line again.
It's understanding it and putting it in play legally.
Nice. Robert Up Dub. Hello. Good night, good night. How are you, my dear? Goodness good. Goodness good. He's good. He's good.
Yes, I listen. It's the same law all over.
Yeah.
And let me tell you what should be done. You shoot them in the back, turn them over in the back, and shoot them in the stomach.
Not necessarily.
Shoot them in the back.
Yes!
All over.
Yes! You hear that one?
Your house. Coming to your house, they attack you. And then when they're running out, because your gun, your pistol go up and you shoot them in the back. You're wrong? Turn them over and shoot them in the stomach.
Yes! Yes!
We love you, love you.
Love ups, thanks so very much. The views of our callers, not necessarily views of
forensic science, eh?
Yes!
Science,
They're going to say, oh, that person gets you on the back or the front. Or, up.
I'll tell you something. A lot of people are of the opinion that when you do those things, you're justified. But again, training is important, so you would not get yourself into that situation.
I mean, we will be simplistic and say these things sometimes because we really want to, people trying to make sure they come out on top and they want to win when it comes to these arguments. But like I said, as much as it makes no sense they're trying to break the law to beat the law.
You can't.
It makes no sense doing it.
No.
It really, even if you feel aggrieved and stuff, we understand the situation where there's no justice or injustice, or justice is not swift enough to come dealing with certain situations. But there's a certain measure you have to know. That is where I think where counseling is concerned, more than anything else, because where injustice happens, slow justice or injustice, you're traumatized. Either way, because you've been deprived, you're not getting the help that you seek, that you think you should be getting, then go get counseling to deal with the matter before you really take matters into your own hand, and then you end up in more problems. Because there are plenty of fellas who would have gotten themselves tied up with the wrong type of people. Tell themselves they're in control and they can handle the stories, and because they want, these fellas and them want more money, they could twist you up and you end up in a situation where you didn't cater for. Like the caller before. You're going and find a partner thing and you want your own gun or you want to hire somebody to thing. Now he could blackmail you. You are a victim of blackmail now. I didn't want to happen and you have a little 10,000 more, you know. And you don't have it. Yeah, you give me 5,000, I do it to take thing. You're covered. You ain't take 5,000 more. You end up in a blackmail scenario.
Look at it from this point too also. You want an illegal firearm, you go and get an illegal firearm. Police come, they arrest you. They get that firearm, trace it back to ballistics, and tie it to 4 or 5 murders.
Wow. And it's in your company.
You have it. You have it. So they're tying it back to you.
And you have to now go back and say how good you was, where you was when the murders take place.
Exactly.
Find out what's going on with you. Have alibi locked down. And you don't know the system here is years.
I said we understand the concern that the callers have, but again, I don't know how best delicate to put it. With proper information, misinformation wouldn't lead you. I'm going to put it that way.
Right.
That's the best way I could put it.
Yeah.
With proper information, misinformation wouldn't lead you.
It's called being guided accordingly.
Yes.
Please be guided accordingly. I just call it that. Be guided accordingly. Don't do your own thing.
Alan, I want to draw to your attention something. We have a lot of FUL holders in this country, right? And we still have a taboo where firearms are concerned. Now, you as a FUL holder, you go into someone to teach you how to use your firearm. What is the competency of that person who is going to teach you? Do you know?
Sometimes no. You're not really asking them to how much years, whatever the case may be, unless the person present that up front.
So it tells you something about the firearms holders in this country. We like to buy cat and bag.
Right.
We don't ask questions.
But we really like the easy way out of things, eh? We like it quick, fast, in a hurry.
And that is where it's run into problems.
So I don't just, try to, I don't want to call,
Yeah, you go under the counter.
Yeah, I want,
And then you get misinformation.
I don't want to call Gigi name inside the mixer, we will mention all the, hullabaloo, but.
The views and opinion of the host is
Yo! Yes! So, but we like things quick, easy, and in a hurry. Under the table kind of strippiness.
What is be considered training? The physical aspect of training with the firearm.
Oh, on the range.
Right.
You're being able to load the gun, shoot the gun, reload, possibly aim, shoot.
Guys, just I'm reading something here.
A message?
Yeah. If he is running and swinging his hand with his firearm, at some point his firearm will be pointing in your direction.
What you were saying, let's call it, What you was calling it?
What's that?
When I made the statement just now, you used that term. It's fitting right there with that.
Yeah.
But as I said,
I mean, come now, man.
It's things subtly have to. Misinformation will guide you away from misinformation.
Right.
So I believe.
You guys are calling me. Hold on, we have a call. Hello, that's the one. If he is running.
Yeah, that's it.
Right. So again, as I say, with proper information, misinformation will start to dissolve.
Yeah.
Right.
So again.
Yeah, I come and tell you now. I have it open. I'm not opening line to talk to you. Just want to make sure that Brian finishes his statement. Go ahead.
Nobody else swing their arms on the run.
Well, you can never tell. You can never tell.
You're talking about firearm training and things. How does that impact or how does that help someone who is faced with a criminal situation? You could have what firearm training you have to use the firearm. But just like in the military, they cannot teach you bravery, they could teach you how to use all the equipment. The thing they cannot teach you is bravery. When a man faces you in a life and death situation, all your pampers done full already. You could study firearm training, you're just gonna shoot your way out. There's no firearm training when you're facing death, a man pointing a gun at you. Firearm training.
All right, thanks. I will.
That's going to be real.
But.
What I'm hearing, you all are really, questioning the intelligence of the public. You're not selling the show properly,
All right. So let me permit before you answer.
Legal and illegal.
Before you.
You cannot be legal when you're facing an illegal situation. A man comes to me and he tells me about my training. I want to live. By any means necessary, I want to live. If you want to talk and chat and die at the end of your speech, die if you will be fast, by killing you better. An illegal firearm is an asset, just like a PH taxi.
No. Hold on, caller. An illegal firearm, by any measure of the law, hold on, it is called illegal. So illegal drugs is an asset as well then?
Yes.
All right, thanks for calling. Right, just stop. Because they make no sense to continue down that road.
As we was talking about training now.
No, before you answer, I hope the caller still looking on. Test. I will deal with you in a little bit. Test. I'm using your phone name. Thank you. That is it. Listen, an illegal firearm. What we're talking about here is mental preparedness and stuff. The same soldier, police, these guys go through an inordinate amount of training. And they get called in annually to be retrained, retooled. Because what happens when you're in trauma, after you've been trained a certain way, a certain instinct kicks in. A fireman off duty is still a fireman. A fire breaks out by his neighbor's house, he knows exactly what to do. Somebody who is you are having a problem, sir, and let's just say you're having a heart problem. Would you go to a dentist? Would you want somebody who is a lifeguard walking you and say, let me deal with your heart? You're having a problem and you call the ambulance. You want garbage truck pick you up? Could the fellows who are operating garbage truck know how to deal with your situation when they come to your home? There are certain things that kicks in when it comes to being trained a certain way. And I think we tackle that in all spheres, because the gentleman here asked me, when it comes to being an entertainer, he's saying, could I come here and just do entertainment just like that? And the answer was no. He had to lean to my experience as an entertainer. I have to show him the ropes. If I have to learn to carry a firearm or understand the importance of having a firearm, and this is about being prepared to know how to use a firearm, in what instant, have the mental capacity to deal with it, there's a certain measure of training that must go before. You just don't go and buy a firearm. You sir, sound like you'll buy a firearm, and as you get vexed, you go and shoot people. And I dare say, it's a very incorrect position to have.
Here's something I noticed since 2 weeks ago. We use the same scenario. Somehow people only interpreting training to mean the physical application of the firearm.
Right.
But so much time we talk about the mental, being psychologically prepared for certain scenarios, that kind of thing. How often we hear scenarios where people lock up? When I say lock up, they freeze.
Yeah.
When they confront with somebody, they freeze.
Yeah.
And they armed. But at that point, you're lost. You don't know what to do.
You don't know what to do.
You freeze.
Yeah.
How much time we hear about scenarios where, like for instance, the other I saw a video, this guy, Coulson, the partner bring a gun to show him. And he want a gallery thing, so he give his girl it. Right in the car, playing with the gun, shoot him in the head.
Right.
She ain't trained. And this is the point people keep missing. There's a physical aspect to it. There's also a mental aspect to it. There's a psychological aspect to it.
Yeah.
The man nearly dead. You give your girl a gun to play. So imagine somebody who just have a firearm. Don't know nothing about the fire. If they get a stoppage in the middle of a gunfight, what to do? You lost. You know, but
I lost.
why? Because you're not trained.
I lost.
Because training not important.
Right.
You
say that and I lost. I don't know
exactly. You understand? See, there are a lot of things that could go into it, but we have this mental. I have a gun, it's just a point and shoot. And nothing else matters. No.
The question
there's
is,
a lot more involved.
And that comes about because we train on a range one dimension. So let's put the scenario. You're in a line in the grocery or whatever, your son, your family sitting at home watching television, and a threat comes up to the left or the right. Can you now safely draw and turn and go towards that threat and fire without endangering your family? That is training, not just squeezing in a bullseye in a gunfight. If you hit, anytime you hit 10 bullseye, a small hole so, less than a half inch, in a gunfight, another prosecutor destroy you. Because if you could put 10 rounds, when you moving, I frighten, you frighten, and you put 10 rounds in a half-inch hole, in a because I would love to see somebody in a fist fight hit somebody 10 times the exact same spot. That means the person stand up.
Right.
So let me think realistic. A fight, the opportunity in a gunfight is fight. It is dynamic. How much of us can draw and turn in a crowd and engage a threat without endangering anybody else?
Right.
That is part of training. Training is not going in the range and emptying 15 bucks down the range. One direction. There's something people don't know how to draw properly. They draw and these it.
Some Kirk is asking the question, what's the different types of training program do you offer to FUL holders?
We have multiple. Well, we have the basic pistol introduction. We have the concealed carry program. We have low-light programs. We have, again, very important, verbal judo, which will come into communications.
Verbal who?
Judo.
Verbal judo.
De-escalating before you reach to the point where you have to go to your last resort. Situational awareness, that is a program within it, but separate also.
Okay.
So we have a lot of programs both for the FUL holders and for want of a better word, the tactical programs.
Wow. All right. We gotta cleanse the air, friends. So let's have a gun talk all again here before we go. We have a little. We have the comedy corner. Usually we do the comedy corner because we like to leave on a light note. But so I will give you all time to give your handles, how to be. We could thing. But before we go to that, you just duck away to the comedy corner. 2 little clips I found, and I said I was sending it to these cats and them because I didn't do the comedy corner. I wasn't here. I know they didn't do no comedy corner. I wasn't here. But they just talk it. See, I tell you, Evo stick. Evo stick. Evo stick. That's just, you know, I beat in my chest. Alistair? Yes. Evo stick. You understand? But we have something here. Watch this first little comedy corner clip that we found. Tell me if you like this and enjoy this one.
What seems to be the trouble?
Well, doctor, you want to tell the truth. You see, sir, I noticed that I'm getting these headaches.
Headaches. All right. And where have you been experiencing the pain?
At home.
No. I mean the temple, the forehead, the sinuses, back here, where?
In my foot. Yes, I get a headache in my foot.
A headache in your foot?
Yes, and I get it when I kneel down.
When you kneel down?
Okay, why are you repeating everything I said, please?
Because I'm a little confused by your terminology.
Doctor, no, but I said me go on a terminologist, you know, because the last one could not even cure my dandruff.
No, I mean I'm a little confused by what you say.
Dr. Van, it always know where people mean all the time.
All right, Miss Banks, when you get a headache, where exactly do you get this headache in your foot?
On the floor.
No, what I mean is what you kneel on.
Just on the saucer board floor at the house when me clean.
No, what I mean is what part of your body do you kneel down with?
Then doctor, I must kneel down with all of my body, sir. Me can kneel down with half of my body and leave the next half standing up.
What I mean, Miss Banks, is when you get a headache in your foot, which part of your foot is it that hurts you? Point to it, please.
Right,
yes.
right, I.
That's your knee.
That is my foot.
No, that's your foot, the thing at the end of your leg, below your ankle.
No, Jamaican foot start all the way up here, so. And come all the way through and come down to there, so.
That's your hip.
That is the top part of my foot.
A woman was 3 months pregnant when she fell into a deep coma and woke up after 6 months. The woman asked the doctor about her babies. The doctor said, "You had twins, a boy and a girl. They're both fine. And your brother named them for you." The woman replies with, No, not my brother. He's an idiot. What did he name the girl?" "Denise," the doctor says. "Oh, actually, that's not that bad. What about the boy?" "The nephew."
Oh gosh, I don't know. After all I ever got to talk, we must need something a little light for it to laugh at. We want to say thanks to the guys for coming inside here this evening and Rubber Dub and being a part of this whole thing. This is the thing, this is a break record, you know, a really break record. So give us a little handles one more time, say good night on your farewells. How can these people reach you and how and what timing and whatever the case may be.
We can be reached at 718-9535. That is the Firearm Instructors Regional Association contact number. We are located in Bonnet West, Aruca. We operate out of the Trinidad Rifle Association range in Chaguaramas. Nice. We are always willing to give advice, so please call.
Nice. Anything else to say again, Abraham?
Well, I just say a pleasant good night to the Gael family, to my family at home who's listening, and a blessed good night to one and all.
And my friends, that's how we land this puppy on this tonight's edition of Rubber Dub. Thanks to Calissa for passing through. Thank you guys for jumping in. Testicles! Thank you so very much. You need to adjust your names, right?
I just want to give a shout out to a very special lady.
Go ahead.
Glenda Williams.
Glenda, she was not, I think. Yeah. I saw Glenda saying good night.
Yeah.
So Glenda, you're squeezing out Glenda Williams, even.
No, I had to squeeze it in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Squeeze out.
After 40 years.
Yeah. Glenda, he just made it. He just about made it. He clucky card tonight, Glenda. Thanks for squeezing in. Friends, until next week, Tuesday, go and spend life in the good times. Remember, God in the bad times. See God at all times, my dear friends. Thank God we are out tonight. Rubber Dub.